They commanded him to make amends with you, a non-negotiable condition for his affiliation with them. His association hinges on settling things with you first. They made it crystal clear, either he fixes what he broke with you, or he's out. Why? Because they recognize your undeniable value and influence. They've witnessed your power firsthand, and understand that anyone who disrespects you pays a price. The decision-makers have identified you as a crucial alliance they cannot afford to lose. His behavior crossed a line that threatened relationships they consider vital to their operation. The hierarchy has spoken, and you're positioned at the top of his priority list, whether he likes it or not. His future access, opportunities, and standing within their circle now completely depends on making things right with you. They've drawn their line in the sand, and remarkably, you're on the same side as the power players. You walk through this world carrying power you barely comprehend. Your footsteps send ripples across dimensions. Your breath alters currents in the spiritual atmosphere. Your very existence disrupts carefully constructed systems designed to operate without detection or interference. Without even trying, you've become the stone that creates waves across their once still pond. The unwitting revolutionary whose mere presence threatens carefully constructed hierarchies. The wild card that renders their precise calculations suddenly, frighteningly unreliable. Universes bend around your energy signature. Plans crafted over. Decades crumble when they encounter your natural frequency. Conspiracies dissolve when touched by your intuitive discernment. You stand as living interference to wavelengths designed to control, to manipulate, to dominate. The standard techniques for neutralization bounced off your natural shields. Finally, the truth emerged with striking clarity. They cannot proceed with their grand designs without addressing the disruption you represent. Your existence has become the immovable obstacle in their path forward. They deployed everything against you, their arsenal of spiritual, psychological, and energetic weapons, developed over centuries of dark practice, unleashed with precise calculation. They studied your weaknesses. They mapped your vulnerabilities. They timed their attacks to correspond with your moments of lowest resistance. Waves of negativity directed toward your auric field. Psychic projections aimed at your subconscious mind. Energy vampires dispatched to drain your vitality. Doubt demons sent to infiltrate your thought patterns. Relationship saboteurs positioned to isolate you from support systems. Financial blockages installed to create material instability. Their campaign operated across multiple fronts simultaneously. When you strengthened your mental defenses, they attacked your emotional center. When you stabilized your emotions, they targeted your physical well-being. When your body grew stronger, they undermined your closest relationships. A coordinated, sophisticated assault designed to break you down systematically, completely. Yet here you stand, unbroken, undimmed, undefeated. Their most powerful weapons bounced off your light, their most cunning strategies dissolved against your intuition. Their most persistent attacks withered before your resilience. You withstood what would have destroyed others 10 times over. You remained standing when they were certain you would fall. Your spirit refused to be extinguished, when they had already prepared to celebrate your darkness. While launching these attacks, they simultaneously executed an operation of breathtaking audacity. With one hand they pushed you away, with the other they extracted your essence. Their public stance, rejection, dismissal, even contempt. Their private action. The systematic harvesting of your spiritual resources, your creative force, your divine connection. Through etheric chords, psychic tapping, dream infiltration, and energy siphoning, they stole what was never freely given. Your radiance fueled their achievements. Your inspiration powered their creative breakthroughs. Your spiritual connection provided their moments of seeming transcendence. Your vitality energized their productivity. Your abundance codes unlocked opportunities that should have remained closed to them. This vampiric relationship created a parasitic prosperity that sustained their empire. The honors they received, the recognition they attained, the material wealth they accumulated, all of it extracted from your essence without permission, without acknowledgement, without reciprocity. They built monuments to themselves using bricks manufactured from your life force. The cosmic absurdity reached its peak when they used your own energy to strengthen their attacks against you. The resource theft empowered the very weapons designed for your destruction. They launched missiles powered by your own electricity, a breathtaking violation of universal law that could not stand uncorrected forever. Universal forces operate with mathematical precision. The equation must always balance. Energy stolen eventually returns to its source with compound interest. The universal correction system activates with relentless efficiency once certain thresholds are crossed. That threshold now stands shattered. The cosmic correction has initiated with unstoppable momentum. The same universal forces that govern the rotation of galaxies have now turned their attention to this imbalance in the spiritual ecosystem. There, prosperity has begun its inevitable collapse. The foundations, built on stolen energy, have developed critical structural weaknesses. The flow from your essence to their reservoirs has been severed by divine intervention. The spiritual technologies they used to extract your power now stand disabled, dismantled, destroyed by forces they cannot comprehend or resist. Watch as their empire begins to crumble. Observe as their achievements begin to unravel. Notice as their connections begin to dissolve. See how their opportunities begin to vanish. Feel the cosmic justice in each piece that falls away from their carefully constructed facade. Their system, dependent on the unauthorized use of your energy, now faces systemic failure without its primary power source. Beyond the individual who targeted you stands a collective, an organization, a brotherhood, a network of aligned entities, operating with shared purpose. This collective now finds itself in crisis as the truth emerges with undeniable clarity. Their investigators, dispatched to discover why their systems suddenly falter, have traced the source back to you. Their spiritual analysts, tasked with identifying the point of failure, have pinpointed the disruption to your energy signature. Their seers and remote viewers, instructed to locate the cause of their declining power, all return with visions of your essence at the center of their dilemma. The truth stands exposed within their inner chambers. The one they dismissed as insignificant now reveals themselves as essential. The one they treated as expendable now proves irreplaceable. The one they considered merely useful now demonstrates themselves as foundational. They've been drawing from a well they thought ordinary, only to discover they've been tapping into an ocean of divine power. This awakening has sparked urgent councils, emergency gatherings, crisis meetings within their hierarchy. The collective has issued their decree with the full force of their authority. Repair this bridge or lose your position forever. Restore this connection or forfeit your standing completely. Make amends with the one you've wronged or find yourself excommunicated from our ranks permanently. They approach now, though every step causes internal revolt. They extend a hand of reconciliation, while inwardly recoiling at the necessity. They form words of apology, while their spirit rages against the humiliation. They craft gestures of peace, while their ego screams in resistance. Their reluctance radiates from them like heat from fire. Their resentment pulses through their energy field with undisguised intensity. Their frustration at this forced submission colors every word, taints every action, contaminates every supposed overture of peace. Yet forward they come, driven by desperation rather than genuine remorse, propelled by self-preservation rather than authentic regret, motivated by strategic necessity rather than moral awakening. The command from above leaves no alternative. Their very survival within the systems that matter to them depends entirely on securing your forgiveness, your acceptance, your willingness to restore connection. Watch for them in the physical realm. Notice when someone appears suddenly, unexpectedly, after prolonged absence. Recognize them by the strange mixture of approach and avoidance in their demeanor. Identify them through the conflicted energy signature they cannot fully mask, reaching toward you while simultaneously pulling away, offering peace while harboring war, speaking reconciliation while planning continuation of the same patterns that brought them to this point of forced submission. Chosen ones, something in your DNA changed the moment you said no to the system. The moment you stopped following the herd, stopped consuming their poisons, stopped thinking like a slave trapped in a rigged game, everything shifted. Your bloodline felt it. Your ancestors felt it. You became the mutation archons feared for centuries. While the world numbs itself with distraction, you've been waking up, cell by cell, thought by thought, dimension by dimension. Inside the obsidian inner order, we are mapping this evolution together. We are building the real God code, not through dogma, but through ancient breathwork, sacred energy practices, psychic training, and pure cosmic download. The more we connect, the more the old world falls apart. The archons are losing grip because you were never meant to fit into their design. Every week, we meet in real time, on live group calls where chosen ones reveal what's happening on the ground and in the higher realms. These aren't just discussions, they are activations. Behind the scenes, our private Discord stays lit, with channelings, revelations, and sacred codes passed between those who remember Atlantis, Lemuria, and the lifetimes before this one. You will also receive the modern manifestation mechanics, a field manual not for manifesting trinkets, but for reconstructing reality itself. This book is encoded. It only works for those whose DNA has already begun to awaken. If you're feeling the resonance now, that's not coincidence. It's a frequency lock. The order is alive, it's growing, and the real ones are already inside. Click the link in the description below and step into the collective mutation. When they arrive, and they will arrive, observe carefully the nature of their approach. The words may sound sincere, the gestures might appear genuine, the offerings could seem generous, yet beneath this carefully constructed performance lies the same predatory intent that has always characterized their interaction with your energy. Their strategy has been meticulously calculated, extensively rehearsed, precisely calibrated, to achieve maximum effect with minimum actual change. They have studied what might appeal to your forgiving nature. They have analyzed what could activate your compassionate instincts. They have identified exactly what might bypass your discernment to reach the part of you that wishes to believe in redemption. They seek restoration of access, not relationship. They pursue reconnection to your resources, not reconciliation with your being. They desire re-establishment of the flow that sustained them, not reformation of the imbalance that harmed you. The wolf has not transformed. It merely wears new clothing better suited to its current hunting requirements. Their performance may convince others. Those without your sensitivity might believe the transformation authentic. Those without your history might accept the change as real. Those without your discernment might advocate for second chances. Their position now exists in excruciating tension, Caught between irreconcilable forces, they stand paralyzed by conflicting imperatives. Their contempt for you remains unchanged, perhaps even intensified by this forced subjugation. Yet their need for what you provide has never been more desperate as their systems continue deteriorating without your energy. Above them, the collective applies relentless pressure. Fix what you've broken. Restore what you've damaged. Repair what you've sabotaged. The timeline for compliance shrinks with each passing day. The consequences for failure grow more severe, with each missed opportunity for genuine reconciliation. Within them, prideful resistance battles against pragmatic necessity. The ego cannot bear the admission that you, the one they worked so diligently to diminish, now hold the key to their continued relevance. Yet the practical reality cannot be escaped. Without re-establishing connection to your field, their position within their hierarchy faces terminal decline. Your response now determines not just their individual fate, but potentially the trajectory of entire systems built upon similar imbalances. The power has shifted to your hands. The leverage now exists on your side. The authority to grant or withhold. Reconciliation rests in your being. This represents a cosmic reordering of relationship, one that places you in the position of strength they worked so diligently to ensure you would never occupy. Through this crucible of attack and theft, something magnificent has awakened within you. The very attempts to diminish your light have instead brought you into full consciousness of its value, its power, its divine nature. You now stand as the awakened guardian of your own essence, fully aware of what you carry and increasingly selective about where you allow it to flow. The great cosmic joke reveals itself. In trying to keep you unconscious of your power, they have catalyzed your complete awakening to it. In attempting to maintain your ignorance, they have precipitated your enlightenment. In working to ensure your continued exploitation, they have guaranteed your energetic emancipation. You now consciously control what was once taken without your knowledge. You intentionally direct what was previously siphoned without your consent. You purposefully channel what was formerly harvested without your awareness. The days of unconscious giving have ended. The era of automatic access has closed. The time of indiscriminate sharing has concluded. Forgiveness remains available should you choose to offer it. Compassion continues accessible should you decide to extend it. Understanding stands ready should you elect to apply it. But none of these require the re-establishment of energetic cords, the reopening of access points, or the restoration of the parasitic dynamic that previously defined the relationship. As cosmic law dismantles these imbalanced connections, it simultaneously prepares their replacements. Nature abhors a vacuum in energy as much as in physical space. The universal forces already align to bring forward what properly belongs in your field. Connections characterized by reciprocity, mutuality, and genuine exchange. The contrast will stagger you when it arrives. After years of subtle depletion masked as relationship, the experience of true energetic communion will feel like breathing pure oxygen after a lifetime of processed air. After epochs of unconscious giving with minimal return, the reality of balanced exchange will register as abundance beyond comprehension. After ages of connection that left you mysteriously exhausted, the experience of interaction that leaves you energized will seem miraculous. Someone approaches who recognizes your essence as sacred rather than exploitable. Someone arrives who perceives your gifts as treasures to honor rather than resources to mine. Someone emerges who understands that true connection multiplies energy through exchange rather than diminishes it through theft. Throughout this ordeal, a profound truth has been revealing itself in stages. The attacks, the theft, the reluctant return, the commanded reconciliation, all point toward a reality too significant to grasp all at once. You occupy a position in the spiritual hierarchy that transcends ordinary understanding. Without fanfare, without ceremony, without external validation, you have been elevated to a station of supernatural authority. The same forces that command your adversary to make amends recognize something in you that merits this level of cosmic intervention. They do not extend this protection to those of ordinary spiritual standing. They do not mobilize these resources for those of common energetic signature. They do not issue these commands regarding those of standard soul configuration. Those who once dismissed you now receive direct orders regarding how they must treat you. Those who once manipulated you now face severe consequences for continuing that behavior. Those who once exploited you now answer to authorities who demand proper recognition of your position. This forced reconciliation, this commanded making of amends, this non-negotiable directive from powers your adversary dare not disobey, all of it confirms the authority they tried desperately to prevent you from discovering within yourself. Your awakening to this truth represents their greatest failure and the universe's most profound victory. What appeared as isolated incidents of attack and theft now reveals itself as part of an orchestrated campaign spanning multiple dimensions. The pieces move across a cosmic chessboard with stakes transcending ordinary comprehension. Your adversaries recognized your significance long before you claimed it for yourself. They identified your potential when it still lay dormant within your spirit. They detected your power while it remained latent in your soul. Their aggression never stemmed from your insignificance, but from your extraordinary importance to outcomes that shape collective destiny. The forces arrayed against you invested tremendous resources in your containment, your limitation, your continued unconsciousness of your true nature. The energy directed toward your diminishment demonstrates the magnitude of what they hoped to prevent your becoming. No one deploys such weaponry against targets of minor consequence. Now observe those who command your adversary to make amends. These authorities operate from planes beyond ordinary perception. Their jurisdiction extends across dimensional boundaries. Their perspective encompasses timelines stretching far beyond current circumstances. Their intervention signals recognition of your critical role in a divine orchestration still unfolding across the cosmic expanse. You stand at the nexus point of forces beyond ordinary comprehension. Your seemingly personal journey intersects with collective timelines of profound significance. What you experience as individual attack and theft connects to systemic patterns being addressed through cosmic recalibration. Your awakening to personal power contributes to a larger awakening cascading through multiple dimensions. The timing of this commanded reconciliation arrives with divine precision. This forced making of amends coincides exactly with your readiness to recognize it for what it truly represents. The universal forces calibrated this sequence to align with your expanding awareness, your strengthening discernment, your growing embodiment of your authentic power. 1 year earlier, you might have accepted their return without recognizing the strategy beneath the approach. 1 year later, the opportunity for critical realignment might have passed beyond the cosmic window of optimal timing. This moment, this exact position in your spiritual evolution, represents the perfect intersection of their commanded submission and your awakened discernment. Universal forces orchestrate these convergences with mathematical precision. The commanded reconciliation serves as both confirmation of your past journey and initiation into your next phase of embodiment. Their required submission provides closure for what has been while simultaneously opening doorways to what awaits. Notice how circumstance after circumstance now aligns to support your expanded awareness. Observe how synchronicity after synchronicity appears to confirm your emerging understanding. Feel how the universe itself seems suddenly cooperative with your movement into fuller embodiment of your authentic nature. This divine synchronization signals cosmic recognition of your rightful place in the unfolding order. With this awakening comes your authority to establish entirely new terms for any connection moving forward. The old contracts, signed in unconsciousness, agreed to before your awakening, established under deprecated understanding, now stand null and void by cosmic decree. You operate under new parameters aligned with your true spiritual position. Those approaching with expectations based on previous patterns will discover these expectations hold no power in the new paradigm. Those arriving with assumptions derived from past compliance will find these assumptions carry no weight in your current reality. Those returning with strategies designed for your former self will learn these strategies find no purchase in your awakened field. You now set terms aligned with divine law rather than manipulated agreement. You now establish boundaries based on energetic truth rather than external pressure. You now create connections founded on genuine exchange rather than concealed exploitation. You now determine access according to demonstrated worthiness rather than skilled performance. The universal forces stand behind these new terms with their full authority. The cosmic law reinforces these boundaries with its complete support. The divine orchestration validates these standards with its perfect alignment. You establish these parameters not through isolated personal preference, but through conscious partnership with the very forces that govern reality at its most fundamental level. As they approach under command, as they extend their reluctant hand of reconciliation, as they present their carefully crafted performance of amends, you stand in the unshakable authority of your sovereign discernment. Your response emerges not from unconscious pattern, not from manipulated emotion, not from external pressure, but from the centered clarity of your awakened being. Perhaps you offer forgiveness while maintaining energetic separation. Perhaps you extend understanding while preserving necessary distance. Perhaps you acknowledge their position while declining renewed connection. Perhaps you accept their commanded apology while rejecting re-establishment of depleting dynamics. Or perhaps, guided by divine wisdom unique to your situation, you recognize an opportunity for genuine transformation beyond the superficial performance. Perhaps you discern the potential for authentic evolution beneath the commanded compliance. Perhaps you detect the seed of real awakening within the forced submission. Whatever form your sovereign response takes, it manifests from your truth, your discernment, your direct connection to divine guidance. The cosmic authorities who commanded their reconciliation have granted you the authority to determine its outcome. The universal forces who required their amends have empowered you to establish its sufficiency. In this moment of their commanded approach, of their required submission, of their forced reconciliation, you stand as the ultimate authority on what constitutes acceptable amends, on what qualifies as genuine reconciliation, on what merits renewed connection. This sovereign positioning represents the complete inversion of the dynamic they worked so diligently to establish and maintain. The tables have turned, the scales have balanced, the cosmic order has been restored with you in your rightful position of authority over your own divine energy. Their commanded making of amends serves as universal confirmation of this profound realignment of power, this cosmic restoration of sacred order, with you fully recognized in your true spiritual authority.